Hey, I'm Justin, and this is The Art of Repair. The theme of today's episode, smarter, not harder, okay? Right now, there's a big issue in the industry with people being able to do a certain type of repair, and I've got a workaround for you that is just going to change the game, okay? I'm talking about InFrame OnFlex soldering. What does that mean? What does it apply to? Why do I need to know it? Man, there's a ton of questions, okay? So as soon as I show you this, you're going to understand, all right? What do I mean by InFrame OnFlex soldering? That means that we're going to be doing a solder job inside the frame of the phone on a flex cable, okay? We're not going to be removing it. At this point, I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're talking about any of the brand new Galaxies that have those capacitive buttons wrapped around the front. Problem with it being is a lot of shops try and lift up the display to try and loosen those capacitive buttons. They end up damaging the screen. And we all know how that works, especially with how much those displays cost right now. So there had to be a better way, okay? We don't have to tear down the device for this, okay? Well, not completely anyway. All right, so I've got myself a Galaxy S6 Edge right here. I've already dismantled it, and I've removed the battery. You cannot do this with the battery, okay? Do not leave the battery in there. In fact, I'm going to try and find a video that was sent to me the other day of a phone exploding. I'm going to try and add it in here because, man, it's scary. You don't want none of that. There is no reaction time, okay? None. Zero. No reaction time. But that's another story. That's another video. And today we're doing InFrame OnFlex soldering on a Galaxy S6 Edge charging port right now on the Art of Repair. So let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's see what we got going on here. Woo, man, we were about to get started there, and then I realized my laptop was about to die, so I had to go get the charger. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started here. And I'm going to be honest, I was just looking at this before I started the next recording, and I realized that the variant of Galaxy S6 Edge I have here is the one variant that doesn't have the capacitive buttons wrapped around the front. So we're going to go ahead and we're still going to finish this video out, and to be perfectly honest, if you do this on the other one, it's going to work identically. So, when I lift this up, it's going to have way more to give. The one that you do may not have the same give. But outside of that, this is going to be the exact same repair, and this is exactly how you would do it. So this is how you would do it on a Note 5. This is how you would do it on an S6. This is how you would do it on S6 Edge, S7, S7 Edge. This is how you would do it. But, like I said, there is a variant of the S6 Edge out there that actually doesn't have the capacitive buttons on not so much wrapped around the front, but they did it the more intelligent way and kind of did a pass through. And I'm gonna be real, I've been wondering why they didn't do that across the board. It was like, the one time. So anyway, with that being said, let's get started. There are two screws in here that are holding down the flex itself. One of them is in the headphone jack, one of them is in just a little clip. Goes down. This is just like an S4 in terms of the adhesive that's under it, so we're just going to take a little Isesamo, and we're going to pop it up. Watch out for the little button that's directly under the charging port. You don't want to damage that, so just real gently kind of lift this up. You might even use a plastic tool real gently. Again, I'm going to remind you, like I said, this is the variant that has them on the back here, okay? And I'm going to show you guys in the microscope here just because it's actually kind of cool to see at that point. This variant of the S6 Edge has the capacitive buttons directly on the back here, and they pass through the front like that. Again, this is the way they should all be, but they're not. Okay, they're not. So we've got to change the charging port anyway. We're going to grab our popsicle stick because this popsicle stick is an insulator, not a heat sink. We do not want this heat to travel down whatever metal thing we're using and to touch the display. And it's not to say you can't use metal with this. It's not to say you can't use any sort of, heat sink style deal and go out the other direction, It really doesn't matter, but you really don't. You just want to make sure that you're not touching the display or any of the other device with it. I personally just want to use an insulator. So we're going to take it. And like I said, this one's got give, so it's not broken or anything. It just has a different setup. So we're going to go ahead and stick our popsicle stick under it. And truthfully, the fact that this thing is actually kind of loose makes it a little bit harder. Technically, I could take it out of the frame, but this is InFrame OnFlex soldering, so that's what we're going to do. Usually the capacitive buttons have just enough tension that they're pulling down just enough to keep everything in place and make the job a little bit easier. So this may be a little harder to do, but here we are. Let's do it. All right, so first step here is going to be able to remove that underfill. Let's see. Right there. I always have the biggest trouble trying to get things lined up in here because I didn't see everything. All right. Let's see where we're at. Where are we at with the heat? I'm going to use like a low heat just to remove the underfill epoxy resin stuff that Samsung uses. You don't need to superheat this up or anything like that. Just till it starts to crumble, then you're going to carefully pick at it until it all comes out and everything. Just trying to find the right blade real quick. And maybe we'll use some tweezers. Oh, maybe if it... And if you press into it slowly as you're heating it up, you'll start to see that it starts to peel away and everything, and gets softer, just like regular underfill on other devices. It actually is more of a pain in the butt to do this with without the capacitive buttons being on the front. Oh yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. I wouldn't want to do it like this. We're just going to tape it down. I'm not doing all that. No way. Where's my tape at? There it is. Terrible, terrible. You definitely need some stability when you're doing this. Like I said, I wasn't really aware that this one was that variant, so whoops, what can you do, What can you do? Alright, so we've got it taped down, now it's stable. Let's go ahead and jump back in there and do this. We're at 140 degrees centigrade, and this is just, like I said, to remove the underfill. And we may actually go up a little bit. There we go, it's all coming out now. No biggie. Make sure y'all can see this. There we go. Alright, we are just about there. And remember, there's always more underfill than it looks like. Right. Let's take a look here. Yeah. I think we got enough out to make it happen. Let's go ahead and get our stuff back on there. I know I'm terrible with this whole like camera deal. Alright. Let's go ahead and change our air again. We're going to change over to probably around between 315 and 330 would probably be our target. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this off. Now be aware there's going to be a little bit of leaky underfill that goes around the bottom part of this near those back anchor points. So be careful. You don't want to tear something up here. We're going to evenly heat the area, slightly preheat the flex around it. And then we're going to come in and alright, there we go. Stupid easy. Alright. So now that we've got the old port off, we're just going to go ahead and clean this up, get the rest of the epoxy underfill out and everything like that, and then this is just going to be another boring charging port job, guys. Like, I mean, we've already done the hardest part. The hardest part was sticking the popsicle stick in there. Like, that was the hardest part, okay? I mean, you saw how fast that came up. We have such small thermal mass on this flex that, I mean, it's almost too easy. It borderlines into the whole, like, satisfying phase, you know, where it's just like, ah, that was fun. So now that we've got that off, we've got our flex and stuff on there. No, we don't. All right, so let's go ahead and clean off all this old solder and old underfill. We're going to put a little bit of flux on there. We're going to heat it up a little bit and clean up the area. Here's my solder. You see how that's also cleaning up the, well, that's what I get for not turning on the air again. Let's turn it on. There we go. Let's try that again. Now that we have some exhaust and I don't smell like crap. Alright, let's clean some of this flux off. Oh yeah, nice and shitty there. There's more. Never really cared for using Q-tips for flux cleaning. I feel like they just leave stuff everywhere. I need a brush. Just a little junk on there. Might be just residual underfill from the All right. So now that we've got that on there, we are going to clean up a little bit and we're going to get started. All right, let's get a little more solder on here so that we can get this other port placed. Sometimes I think I'm the least prepared YouTuber there ever was. So I could get out here and think I'm ready to rock and get our anchor points filled out. I think we're good there. I think we're pretty much good to go. Let's clean up and put this new port on. Alright, nice and cleaned up. Let's get ourselves a port. This port's going to go right here, and all I'm going to do is heat up the solder to wetting temperature, and I'm going to let it sit on there. So let's get the flux on here. We're going to turn down the air though. Alright, we're still at 320. I'm at 2/10 airflow, and the reason I'm at 2/10 airflow is because I don't want to saturate this too quickly. As soon as this gets to wetting temperatures, we're going to see if we can get this on there. I'm going to go ahead and preheat the component just a little bit. Let's heat this area up and get it done. Woo! You lost it. That's what you get. Let's try that again. I mean, I thought I was going to hold it from inside the port, but I definitely wasn't. Alright, so let's go ahead and fill those pins back up. And let's be done. more flux. There we go. Let's make sure it's nice and flat everywhere. Not 100%, but we can fix that. Go. Wait for that sheen to go away. Alright, I think we are good to go. So we're going to clean it up just a little bit, and then I think we're done. Cool down. And I'm gonna tell you, preheating the part does help quite a bit with this one. I like doing it anyway. I think it works well. Oh yeah, we have got ourselves a perfect port. So really, at this point, all we need to do is test it. All right. So we are going to. Go. We've got our porta-pal here. And we're going to plug it in and we're going to see what the deal is here. Well, look at that. No problem. InFrame OnFlex soldering on the art of repair. All right. No big deal. Anyway, so I hope you learned something. I hope that was eye-opening and it gave you a solution to a problem that you've been having, and I hope that it works out really well for you, because once you know how to do this, I mean, it opens the door to a lot of repairs that a lot of people in your town probably aren't doing. So, you know, I'm really excited about this one. All right. Anyway, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, if you're going to subscribe, slide on over and hit those notifications on that little notification bell. That way, whenever I upload something, you actually get to see it, because I'm still not sure how subscriptions work on here. Don't forget to leave some comments down below, and, you know, if you've got a tip, you've got a trick, or anything that you want to share on here, and I ain't heard of it yet, let's do it, man. Seriously, somebody hit me up. Let's get some stuff going here. I want to start working with you guys. You know, I want to start bringing some people on here, you know, doing interviews. You know, I've already got a couple of them lined up. You know, we've got a lot of good stuff coming. So, you know, hey. Anyways, I'm Justin, and this is The Art of Repair.